I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Oh, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting at this. We are getting at this a little late here. I apologize. We're kind of doing this on the fly this evening because I'm still getting information about what we're talking about as we're going. We've got kind of a lot to talk about. Kate, I'm going to send you the name of a person, and can you look and tell me when they were first elected to the office that they were in? I'm going to give you all that information. And if you could do that, that would be fantastic. Give me 1 second here. We'll be right with you guys, folks. Okay, I sent you that there in the private chat. Yeah, if you could smash that like button, share the show around everywhere you know, that would be fantastic. It would be absolutely wonderful. And then let me tell you guys, it's been one of those days. Let me tell you. I hate these smart cell phones we have. They don't let you charge your phone unless you're standing in the right position. It sucks. Gonna have these very just specialized cords, and the cords are always like $45 a pop. It's crazy. So if you don't want to hear me bitching and griping anymore about nonsense, just hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. If you want to communicate with us, is communicating over there. If you're here live, which live is Thursday, June 5th, 2025, it's about 9:12 p.m. If you're here in the future watching this via replay, comment down below, and that's all that we need for you to do. And then, of course, besides that, if you want to follow us on social media, remember tomorrow's Friday. This is the last night of the show of the week, technically. We will not do a show tomorrow. We're normally off Friday and Saturday, but we're going on a special adventure. Again, nobody say where we're going. No one that knows, don't tell anybody. And I need to talk to Catherine and tell her why I'm saying that. I'll call you after the show, Catherine, and tell you. But then Saturday, I believe that I've not talked this through with Catherine, but Saturday we need to do a follow-up afterwards and tell everybody. But if you want to follow along in real time tomorrow, you can join me on Facebook and on Twitter. That's the way for you to do that. That way you'll know what's going on ahead of the show. And then Saturday, you'll be all ready to rock and roll. So, all right. Yeah, tell me about it. Way, way, way burnt. Let me tell you. Yeah, though, I didn't have time to tell you 40 minutes ago. That's what I thought, Kate. That's what I thought you were going to say. So, tonight, you can do it while we're on our journey, but you can't do it while we're there. They won't allow anybody to do it inside. So, you can do it on the way up, outside of, I assume. Probably they would have a problem with that. I'll explain to you why here in a minute. And then outside of, but we won't be able to do it while inside. I'll explain to you why and what my thoughts are with that. But then Saturday night we can do a recap. I'll explain to you everything. I'll explain to you. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, this is going to be a big show. We've got a couple of topics that we're going to talk about. I'm going to give everybody the update that they've been waiting for a while. A lot of people have been waiting all day to hear about what happened in the Kimbrell court. And then we're going to be talking about, the name of this episode is Badges for Sale. And there was a couple different ways I wanted to go with that. The whole time I was thinking about it, I was trying to think to play the hit off the old Beatles album, Beatles for Sale. I was going to do an album that looked a cover that looked like that. But then I got another topic that to me was just as big as the badges for sale. So I thought I couldn't do just the badges deal. So I was going to do badges for sale like the Beatles. And then I was thinking about the old Roger Miller tune, trailers for sale, rent or lease, whatever. Normally I wouldn't screw that up, but I am just now calming down. Woo! I've been going real crazy like the last 45 minutes trying to get everything going, and I knew that I was running against the clock, and it was crazy, but we got it done. What really killed me was my laptop over here that I do a lot of work on and do a lot of my downloading on. It has been dying on me, like right in the middle of doing my work, it'll just black out. And I've had this for probably about 6 months now, maybe closer to a year. And I feel like it's done its word. King of the road. Yeah. That's yeah. Thank you. I am generally the musical connoisseur and would never have done that, but I just had too much going on in the brain. So I think I've got enough use out of this laptop. Now I'm just going to have to trash it, and I'm going to have to go buy another one. It cost me a lot of money to do what I do for you folks. Just FYI there. So that's that. But tonight's episode, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about a topic that a lot of you care about, and I've had a lot of people asking me all the time, when are you going to talk more about Henry County? When are you going to talk more about Sproles? I'm like, when I get shit to talk about. Like, he's probably doing something stupid every day. Like, he's probably doing something stupid every day. But it doesn't get to me. So today, this episode, we are definitely under a Sproles Watch 2025. Whoop, 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 whoop. Alert all the Henry County people. We are going to be talking about John Sproles in a topic, in a segment that we call Badges for Sale. Explain to you what that all is here in a moment. And then after that, one of our newest segments, which we just decided to start naming it this, but this is something that we talk about. It's the whole, I could have named the show this, but we're going to be doing another segment of elected officials behaving badly. And in that, we're going to be talking about one more round for the General Assembly. Like, give me another round and then let me go get in my car and drive off. That's what we're going to be talking about. So We're going to be talking about that tonight. Kid Rock. Kid Rock's talking about this 501c. Instead of being a 501c3, it's a 501c King Museum coming to Muncie. Now, Kid Rock is confused or does not like this for some reason. Why do you not like this? Because I think this is a grand idea. I love this. I cannot wait to go see the king. See the king. You know. Let's pop it up here. I can do it. I could definitely do Fat Elvis. All right, I can do it. God, I feel like Fat Elvis. Hair's going all crazy. Need oxygen to get through the segments. It's really hot in here. It's really hot. That's the trouble. Heard it could be a front business for the back business. That's the only kind of business I like. Front and back. Heard it could be a front business for the back business. Well, that'll be interesting. We'll have to look and see. That would sound like the king. You know, that's my most favorite story of all time. Just shows the ingenuity of Colonel Parker. Was not a good guy. He was really bad to Elvis. He really hurt Elvis. But it just goes to show you his ingenuity. Elvis walked into the room one day and carrying 2 boxes that the secretary gave him on the way in to see the Colonel Parker. And he set him down and he opened one of them up and it was a pen. It was a pen that said, "I love the king," or "I love Elvis." And he was talking to Colonel Parker and he's opened up the other one and the other one said, "I hate Elvis." And he held him up and he was like, "What's this about?" Colonel Parker said, "We make money either way." I love it. I think that's a genius. I think that is absolutely genius. Amazing. I'm all shook up. What was the Johnny Cash's version when Johnny Cash did his impression of the king, and he flipped his collar up and he started to shake his hips and he went, oh, my back. I'm all shook down. All right. Well, let's get on with it, folks. So tonight we're going to be talking about a Henry County story. And I know that draws a lot of people in because Sproles is just crack for people because he's a complete nut job. And then we're going to be talking about something that, again, affects listeners everywhere. It's a state-related issue. It's kind of like the whole Mike, what do we say his name was? Bochek. The guy that got the DUI while eating Panda Express and driving to a cemetery. I feel like something was pulling him. He knew where his life was headed. Well, it's Panda Express night, and I'm driving to the cemetery, and at 3:00 in the afternoon, and he blows a .3. Jesus, that's some crazy stuff. So yeah, Niles will be fine. It's just got to drive the speed limit, make sure all the lights work beforehand, and yeah, I'll see if he gets it. Well, no, he's there tonight. He's there right now. Oh, well. Was it at least a Saturday? Was what a Saturday? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're saying. Tell us what you're saying there, Catherine. Okay. Oh, no. Mike Buchak got out. That was a Friday. It was a Friday.
Yeah, the Indy 1500 is this weekend, everybody.
Oh, is that what that is? Is that what he's doing?
Yeah.
In Henry County?
No, they're loading up everything from Newcastle shop to take to the Indy 1500.
So that's what they're doing.
He's really packing tonight.
Yeah.
About 1,500 weapons.
Well, so let me ask you this: is he staying there over there? Okay, and then just driving there in the morning.
Yeah, he's staying there tonight, and then he'll be there all weekend.
Because they've got don't they have apartments above their shops? That'd be a bad place to try to break in. I'm going to break in this guy's apartment, and it's below a gun shop.
Yeah, that would be dumb. No, the bosses live there, so he has his own room at the boss's house.
Oh yeah, well that's good. Yeah, that's good. So, I've never been into the Henry County store.
If you need a pew, just the Indy 1500 is this weekend. There'll be lots of people with pews, but you should definitely stop.
I feel like that Indy 1500. How frequently does it go on?
I think they do 4 a year.
Okay. That all right. That makes sense then.
It's a good time.
Makes sense. Yeah. Well, yeah, it'll be good for all who are interested in the Second Amendment. Oh, someone got a source texting me right at the moment. All right. Kate said, "Are you making the duck?" Nope. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, first up, we're going to talk about this Sproles thing. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought it was quarterly. All right, ladies and gentlemen. First up, we're going to talk about badges for sale. So, if you have been a long-time listener of the show, you recall me talking when was it? I have to go back here in the Wayback Machine here. How long ago was it? Sproles will be up for election this next year, right? Yeah. Oh, you know what? That's right. We should probably do that first. All right. I that's probably how do you spell his last name? Kimbrell? 2L? Kem or Kim? Yeah. All right. It's close enough. He's a child molester. It don't matter. He's not important. Okay. So first up, we'll just run this the end of Kimbrell. Here. Give me an E, give me an I, whatever. Was it an I? It is an I? That idiot. It should have been an E. Anyways, whatever. Well, whatever. Okay, so Joshua Kimbrell, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you, so I got to doing some work after the show ended last night, and I worked a little bit longer than I should have. I went to bed, and I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning, had a little bit of a headache. My phone chargers, I have a phone charger up here. It's dead now. I have a phone charger by my bed, and I have a phone charger in the living room. And none of them work. The only phone charger I have that fully charges my phone fast and quick is in my car. I'm going to have to go get like 4 or 5 phone chargers for the entire house. But I woke up about 3 o'clock this morning, had like 3% on my phone, and I had a headache, and I was like, oh, I need to take my phone out to the car, but I was like, I'm not going to do it. So I set an old-fashioned, old-school alarm clock so I could get up in time to go to the Kimbrell sentencing today at 10:30. My alarm went off at 7:30 this morning, and my head was still pounding, and I was like, I'm not going to do it. There's no way I'm not going to. And my phone was dead, and I just went back to bed. I thought, you know what? Here's what's going to happen. I had a very, very... I had the feeling that he was going to get 20, do 15, 5 years on probation, lifetime registry. I just figured that's what it was going to be. And, of course, that's exactly what it was going to be. So I think it went pretty well. I think it was pretty standard sentencing. I do not know specifically. I don't know who specifically spoke. It didn't start till noon. Why, Chris? That's crazy. That's horrible. Yeah, that's better. I agree. I do agree. That works. No love loss here. His attorney was late. Go figure. Got stuck in trial in Muncie. Bullshit. I don't care about that. That I'm telling you, they have no. I wish Sam Beasley was going to prison right along with him. I think that he is. I think that he is. Just as bad. It's all of YouTube, bad cop. It's all of YouTube. I don't know what specifically you're trying to type, but all of YouTube does that. YouTube does that. It's welcome to YouTube. So he went in. Chris, did they speak to did any of the girls speak? I know that Danny was going to speak. Did any of them end up speaking? Because I know they all turned in victim impact statements. Okay. All right. Oldest daughter spoke and Danielle spoke. So I'll now read you what the information is that I have here. And this will be basically the end of it. The ongoing case, the state versus Joshua Kimbrell, has concluded today with his sentencing. Although all of us wished for more, everyone I would think wished for more, today he received a ruling of 20 years, the sentencing of 20 years, with 15 years executed, 5 on parole. Lifetime protective orders in place against Danny and her children, and a lifetime offender on the sexual registry list. It's been 18 long months, and Danny says she couldn't be more proud of her daughters for the strength they have shown during the process. Danny says, I want to thank those that have reached out and continue to give support. And she says she would appreciate time and space needed for her family to close this chapter and move forward. And I think that's fantastic. I think that's wonderful. I'm proud of her, proud of the girls. I think they did wonderfully. He will be on his way to the diagnostic and center, and they will do that whole thing and decide where he's going to be placed. I'm assuming it'll be Newcastle. Chris says the judge said if it were up to him, it would have been more. I think that's fantastic. I think the judge in this case was good. And so I'm happy. I'm happy to be done talking about Josh. He gets what he gets, and he shouldn't throw a fit. You get what you get, and you don't say shit. And that's just that. I don't know how else to say it. Good for him. Good luck. Good riddance. And that's that. So, okay. Now, yes, it's now time for Lewis. I don't know what's going to happen. Yes, bad cop. That's exactly correct. Jail is Coney Island, and he's ready for this brand new ride. Yeah, this will be. Oh no, he is the brand new ride. yeah, that's true too. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Hopefully. Well, I'll just keep my thoughts to myself. So that's it. I think that's pretty much the end of Joshua Kimbrell. I think whenever he gets out, I foresee him going back to wherever he came from, someplace in Ohio. And that's couldn't happen to a better person. All right. Now on to the Lewis is coming soon. Hopefully. Well, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen there, but it will happen, and that'll be good too. Okay, now on to badges for sale. So I don't know how long ago this was, but Sproles, we started really looking at Sproles right around the whole idea, the time when he was saying that they weren't going to take calls in all the small towns anymore, and going back and forth with all that nonsense. Then he shot the inmate with the beanbag gun, all that stuff. Shortly around that time, longtime listeners will recall when I talked about the fact that one of the things that Sproles did was there's this holdover. The sheriff's department is different than like police department. Like police, you have to like be a police officer. You have to go through the academy. You have to be a reserve, whatever. And they don't just go out handing out just these like, here's a badge, you get a badge, you get a badge, you get a badge. That just doesn't happen. But the sheriff's department, it's kind of like a holdover from back in the old posse days and things like that. The sheriff's department does a bunch of weird stuff, but they have this thing that they used to do, and it really used to only go out to like very like high prestigious people. For some reason, someone who had been a help to the sheriff's department, maybe donated money for cars for the department or something like that. And they would give these people these titles of special deputy. And what they would do is they would present this person with a star, a sheriff's star, and an ID that would say special deputy. And these people that would get these given to them knew that it did not mean that these people now were police officers. They now had arrest power. They now could go out going crazy. These people didn't wear these stars and carry the IDs in their pocket. They would put these stars and these IDs like on their trophy wall in their office. It would be a thing that they would show. It was a thing of pride. It's like having an honorary degree conferred upon you. It doesn't. You get an honorary degree conferred upon you, and you don't immediately go around, starting to like practice medicine or being a teacher. It's just it's an honorary degree for whatever reason they gave that to you. It's an honorary thing. It's an award basically. Well, as we've moved along, there are these crazy things that's happened where, I am related to a person who's now, related through marriage, who has now passed away and is now gone, but they were a Kentucky colonel, and he hung the thing in his bathroom at his business. It was like, kind of a funny thing for, well, that's a little bit different there. They actually went through the process of becoming reserves. That's different than even that joke of a thing that you're talking about, Stumblefoot. That's different than special deputy nonsense. And so Sproles came through and said, I'm taking all the special deputy things away, which I didn't agree with him doing that, because the special deputies that have been made by other sheriffs for whatever reason, I think that those are meant. They can be taken away if you abuse the power, by sure. And if somebody's out there doing something stupid, by all means, stop that. But I don't think that if someone's acting accordingly that you should do anything wrong. Well, he took all these away and he stopped a bunch of stuff that he was doing, and he cracked down, and he said, like, we're going to do it differently. And well, now what's funny about this is now in the couple of years that he's been on the department, he's given special deputy badges to a bunch of people. He's doled these out. It's been real crazy. He's made a bunch of people, half the people at his church are chaplains. And the amount of badges that Sproles have handed out's been laughable, because he was like, we're not going to be doing any of this. Da, 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 da. Well, there is a man, and I have to actually go back and listen, because I don't know if I named this guy before or not. I'm not going to name him tonight. I need to go back, and this information like literally was coming to me. That's part of the reason why we were late tonight. This information was coming to me as I was like getting the show ready and still looking into stuff. So I have to go back and listen the last time we talked about this, if I named the person. But there is a man in Henry County that is known. He's a man that's got money. He's known to have money. He's been involved in lots of different business deals. And he, at one point, was a special deputy. Okay. And he had this, another sheriff had given him this honor and whatever. Well, when Sproles first came in, Sproles took this honor away from him. And this guy was upset by it. And I know that we've talked about this on another show way back in late summer of 23, the fall of 23, or early 24. I know we talked about this. Who remembers? Does anybody here remember me talking about Sproles going to a guy who had a lot of money, and Sproles asked him for a loan? And Sproles said, if you give me $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, somewhere around in there, I will give you back your special deputy badge. Does anybody remember me talking about that? Does anybody remember me saying that on a show? I'll find the show. Brandon remembers it. Kate remembers it. And listen, I will be honest. Alva remembers it. I'll be honest. I don't know that this is specifically a campaign contribution, or if he means this is a contribution to Sproles specifically. And I don't know. It'll be interesting. Yeah, Brenda remembers it, and she knows who I'm talking about. I figured, of course, and maybe you and I have talked about this, Brenda. And I think when I talked about this the first time, I think I was given the okay to even mention the guy's name. But I'm going to go back and find that episode and find out before I mention it now. Well, anyways, Yeah, right. He needs to start paying for all those settlements. Well, between that, and the reason we joked about this is we were like, what does he need $30,000 for? He's got, he's got money. He's getting paid good money. And we joked that he was doing this because he was trying to hire a hitman to kill me. Remember, that was the joke. That was the joke that I ran on, that he was trying to find. That's what he was trying to do. Well, that all happened. And I remember a couple months later telling you guys that I had heard that the old man had said, let me think about it. And what had happened was Sproles ended up going out to that guy's house, and they sat down, and the guy said, well, let's just say for the sake of argument, Sproles asked for $30,000. And the guy said, well, here's what I can do. I can give you 15. And he had $15,000 and was ready to give him not specialty badge, a special sheriff, a special deputy, excuse me, not specialty badge. The position is called special deputy. It's been around for a long time. Anyways, the guy was prepared to give. Sproles 15 grand, like half of it, close to half of it, most of it, whatever. And Sproles said, he was like, okay, where's my badge? And Sproles said, when you give me the rest, you'll get the badge. And the guy said, screw that. If you can't give it to me now, I'm not giving you, and they ended up not doing it. It ended up not happening one way or the other. And I reported on that as well. And yeah, it's corruption. It's absolute corruption. It's like pay for play kind of deal. It's not a good thing. It's not definitely not a good thing. Well, and we said it. And I remember saying, and that kind of stuff's going to get him in trouble. Well, lo and behold, time has went on, and I guess Sproles has ended up asking about 3 or 4 other business people, this same deal. Like making this same deal. Maybe people who were or weren't, but just saying, hey, if you're willing to give me money, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, I'll make you a special deputy. And hold on. Bad cop, if you're hitting enter, if you're trying to hit enter to space it, it will always enter it. You can't hit enter. You have to just do one long thing. You can't write written out sentences. Like you can't make different spaces between paragraphs, because I've ran into that too, doing the same thing. So you just have to type and put periods in there, and you can type one long thing. You just can't do any kind of indent. You can't do enter like you would do typing an email or typing a Facebook post. You just have to type one long thing. Yeah, that's the other thing. That's the other thing. That's the other thing. He just sold that school for like over $1 million. So like what's the deal? Well, so here's the thing. He's went around to these people, and sources today have told me that the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigations are and have been in town in Newcastle in Henry County, and they have been interviewing these folks, and that at least a couple of them have been willing to talk to them. And the federal government is now investigating Sproles for this pay for play, like you want to, make a deal type of thing. And it's like, finally, thank God this is happening. This is happening. So call the bad cop, call the federal government up. There's an FBI agent office in Muncie. Call the FBI office in Muncie. Let them know. Let them get a hold of them. Tell them what you got. Gerald says, I was a special deputy in Marion County 25 years ago, worked for a security company. I spent 80 hours at the MC Sheriff's Academy. I could write tickets, arrest people, run. Now, wait a minute. You were a special deputy or you were a reserve? And I know that Marion County did a couple of other different things. Marion County did some weird things with theirs. So were you an actual special deputy or were you a reserve? That's weird. And I've always known that Marion County did something weird, so that very well could be. But this whole deal that Sproles is doing, if he's willing to do this, like this, who knows what else he's doing? And then on top of the fact that, well, there are some other things that I'm looking into, Sproles. So number one, yeah, right, Brandon. Yeah, Brenda. That's the thing. That's the thing that, I mean, most of these people know when they're given this, they're given this and what they are given this for. You know what I mean? So that's that. But I will tell you that the FBI looking into Sproles for this is interesting, because we all recall when Sproles told us that, well, I was given the all clear with the beanbag shooting, and to me, the whole thing I'm thinking is, if he would have been given the all clear, he would have posted that literally everywhere. I have requested it. I've never seen it. I've never gotten anything. And so I just feel like that was a bunch of bull. And I feel like this whole time, the FBI has been, they have been putting this case together. They have been putting this case together, and they are looking at him and building and building and building. And I'll tell you, when you start getting into the whole idea of the sheriff sitting on a situation where he's got people that he goes to asking for 30,000 here, 50,000 here, 40,000 here. That's a serious deal, specifically coming off of the deal with Jamie Knoll. I cannot even believe that Sproles would be that stupid. But yet again, here we are. So, what I will say is, and I want to be very clear with this, if there are any of you people out there in Henry County that Sproles has approached, if any of you know, and I don't mean it can't be like I heard a story from a story who, I need names. If you have been approached, if you've talked to the feds, I would be interested, and I will never burn you. Go back through all of our videos. I don't ever burn anybody. I'm interested to know how many people he's approached with this deal. If he's approached you for any other reasons, because we know that Sproles, for some reason, is trying to amass money. He's in debt for some reason. I don't know. I do not know. I mean, I know the reasons that go through my head that someone tries to amass money, you know. And the only reason that happens is drugs, affairs, gambling. You know, I don't know why else. You know, maybe he's in maybe he is in debt, but I mean, there has to be it needs to pay his therapist. There has to be a certain at some point that stops, because listen, he's been somebody that's lived a life of having money. So, you know, how much money does he need? You know, how much money is he in debt? He just sold the school for, you know, over $1 million. Bad cop, there's my email address. If you're talking to me, if you have something you want to send me, there's my email address. Send it to me. KH Bilbrey, KHBILBREY @gmail.com. You can send me whatever you have. I will definitely take a look at it. Would definitely be interested if you have Sproles related stuff. So I just, yeah, you know, I thought about that. I wondered about that. It might not be a bad idea to pull some records on the commissary fund. Let's see here. Maybe somebody needs to do an audit. Yes. He may be trying to get his wife's black friends transportation from South Africa. He's sending money to less cultured people. His words, not ours. So there you have it. Maybe he's still trying to pay off the lumber company in Newcastle. God, I would have to think that he's just said to hell with the lumber company. Yeah, JS. That's what I'm saying. All 92 counties have special deputies. It's not honorary. It's full police powers. That may very well be, but I'm just going to tell you how it's done here in Delaware County. These people are not out running around using these. How it's done in Delaware County is done in a very honorary position, and that's how it's always been done. I mean, for a very long time in Delaware County, the only people that are giving badges and that are running around with full police powers are the merit deputies and the reserve deputies. That's just maybe it might be doing that in other counties, but that is not. I just, in my opinion, there is definitely, I mean, and each sheriff's able to work that however they want. If they want to make that a position where they're like, yeah, you have full police arrest powers, go out and run wild, that's a crazy thing, in my opinion. I mean, I'll be honest, I think that they ought to do away. I was okay with Sproles saying, like, I'm not going to be handing these out, because Sproles originally said, I'm going to pull all these back, which I did not agree with. I did not agree with him pulling them back. But I did agree with him saying we're going to, like, cut down on this. That was one thing that I was okay with. I am okay with there being, better accountability on who's got badges, who's running around, doing whatever. Like, I get that. The lumber company has to have that written off on their profit and loss statement on their taxes by now. Yeah, like I just don't believe that the Sproles is ever going to pay that back. That's just not going to happen. I'm just interested to know what he could be doing with all of this money. What in the hell could he be doing with all of this money? Yeah, Sergeant. Hey, and I know that you called me today. I don't know if you got in here in time to hear that my phone was dead. I will give you I'll give you a ring tomorrow if that's okay, sir. I will give you a holler and we'll see what goes on. See here. Okay, I think this. So someone sent this to me. So I think I'm getting honorary deputy. The sheriff's department's weird. The whole thing with the whole well, yeah, I took my email off the screen. Like, it's not going to be up there forever. I'm getting it write it down somewhere so you can have it. There's my email, khbilbrey@gmail.com. It's on the screen. Write that down, and then I'm going to remove it from the screen. So here it is, khbilbrey@gmail.com. Tell me when you have it. Let me know when you have it. We don't even have a lumber company anymore, do we, DJ? Other than Gilman's. That would be sad. The sheriff may appoint as a special deputy any person who is employed by a governmental entity and is defined in Indiana Code, private employer, the nature of which employment necessities the person have the powers of law enforcement officer. During the term of the special deputy's appointment and while the special deputy is fulfilling the specific responsibilities for which the appointment is made, a special deputy has the powers. Okay, so, all right. Now, wait a minute. So, written limitations, specific requirements imposed by the sheriff and signed by these special deputies. So, okay. Okay, you got it. Cool. Okay, so, yeah, I don't know. The whole thing there, the bottom line, I know what you cannot do. You cannot go and say, hey, give me $30,000 and I will make you a special deputy. That's a little hokey. And it's very questionable. I hope that they do this right. I mean, the feds are very meticulous, and they do things very slowly. My whole thing is, I feel like Sproles has been such a detriment to the county. I'm just hoping that whatever is going on happens before he has a chance to even be considered for re-election. Now, we're running up against the time here, because in order for that to happen, Sproles would have to be arrested. Not only arrested, he would have to be charged. Not only arrested and charged, but he would have to be found guilty of a felony. So, yeah, Stumblefoot, I believe that's probably correct. So, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I will tell you, we're still waiting on records from Henry County pertaining to the pursuit that they were in here back in April. And I have not submitted an email asking, like, hey, what are we doing? But I will do that tomorrow. I'll send that to Joel and be like, yo, it's been a little longer. What are we doing here? We'll have to see what goes on. Yeah, that's true. Even if he's not technically, say they arrest him, but they've not, they arrest him and charge him, but they've not found him guilty. That bad PR will be hell on a re-election bid. So, time will tell. We'll just have to see what happens. The bus incident was another looky-loo at Sproles. He knows how to. I'm telling you, man. He, like no other person I've ever seen, he knows how to absolutely, turn the just most mundane incidents into an absolute outright, all out and out shit show. The dude really knows how to screw up a situation like nothing else. It's maddening. So, if you know anyone that's interested in the Sproles show, you might want to pass this information along to them. Give them a link to the show and tell them how to watch it, because we're going to keep our eye on this and see what goes on. All right, moving into the one more round for the General Assembly. One more round, barkeep. When we look at elected officials behaving badly. So, if you remember back on May 14th, when we broke the news of the drunk state senator up in Michigan City, that information, that name, that information came out here weeks before the Kendall and Casey show, just FYI. But no big deal. Anyways, I said at the time, I do not make light of people's issues, people's addictions. If they have issues, if they have addictions, I hate that. I feel sorry for them. I hope that they get that treated. However, the public needs to be made aware. Now, this situation, to me, is just a little bit different. It's a little bit different because it's not. This person was. Let me see. No. Okay. So they weren't elected when this happened, but they were running for office. So this was right in the middle of when they were currently running. And if you type the name in and you type in any, like for example, let me give you an example here. Stand by, let me pull this up. Let me show you what happens here. Share screen. New tab. Share. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you, give you an example. If you go to your old Google bar and you type in Jim Lucas, O-W-I. You don't even need to type in Indiana. Just type in Jim Lucas, O-W-I, and you hit enter. This is what pops up. Indiana GOP Representative Jim Lucas pleads guilty to 2. Representative Jim Lucas sentenced after OWI arrest. Representative Jim Lucas avoids jail time in plea deal for drunk. Body cam of Representative Jim Lucas OWI arrest. It's all the way down. Okay. I'm not talking about Jim Lucas. Jim Lucas's people, they all knew this. Yes, yeah, this all happened. That's not who we're looking at. I'm just showing you what happens when someone who has been in the public eye or been running for office and it's out and about. It's everywhere, okay? I'm going to give you another one just for example. Give me okay. I'm gonna give you another example here. We're gonna get rid of Jim Lucas and we're gonna type in Fort Wayne, the former, he's dead now, but former Fort Wayne mayor Tom Henry, OWI, and we're gonna hit enter. Look at this. Fort Wayne Mayor Tom Henry sentenced after OWI arrest. Court documents reveal Fort Wayne Mayor Tom Henry. Video, Mayor Tom Henry tells arresting officers, "You all work for me." Remember this? We talked about this on the program here. This man was the mayor, and while he was mayor, he was arrested. Okay? All of this information is very easy to find. I'm going to type a name in that you guys may or may not know, but we're going to get familiar with him here. I'm going to come here to Google, and I'm going to type in the name of Beau Baird. Beau Baird, OWI. Nothing about OWI. Now this says Greater Lafayette News. Okay, there's nothing. Yeah, he's not in this. Beau Baird, Greencastle Republican author, told lawmakers debate. There's nothing in here about Beau Baird and OWI. Okay. Now, who is Beau Baird, you might ask? Well, Beau Baird, ladies and gentlemen, is a state representative Here he is. Looks all good standing there in his suit. Representative District 44. Okay. See here. Not much information about him. District 44. Here's where he's at on the map. District 44. Crawfordsville. Greencastle. Here we are. All right. This is his area. Now, he is very similar to J.D. Prescott. He first took office on election night in November of 2018. Because as we've said here before, and a lot of people don't know this, Beau, Baird, and all the other state representatives, when they are elected in November, they're not state representatives elect until January. When they win in November, like say November's on Tuesday, November 5th. When they win on Tuesday, November 5th, they win. The information comes in. They find out at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. They are then all go down to the state house and they are all sworn in at midnight. And they all become state representatives from that point through the term, 2-year term. So he ran in the primary in May of 2018 and in November of 2018, and he won. However, in July of 2018, so right in the middle of him running, something happened. And I'm going to take you to this information here. A second. Come on. Yeah, we'll do it this way. Something was up with that one for some unknown reason. Okay. We'll take you here to okay, here we go. This is from the I don't even know what this is. What is this? This is the Sun commercial. I don't know where this is out of. But this is a newspaper apparently from around Greencastle. And it says, Beau Baird to seek District 44 seat. This came out in January of 2018. Apparently seeking to follow in his father's footsteps. His father was an elected official for a long time. Beau Baird of Greencastle has announced his candidacy for Indiana State Representative in District 44. The Republican will look to succeed his father, Jim Baird, a four-term representative who in October announced his own 2018 candidacy for Indiana's 4th congressional district. A lifelong resident of the district, Beau Baird emphasized his commitment to the growth and prosperity of the community in announcing his candidacy. Currently, the chairman of Putnam County GOP, that was Beau. In recent years, Baird has given significant time in the political arena by working on several local and state federal campaigns. His educational background includes BS, of course, in financial planning from Purdue. More recently, he completed the Indiana Leadership Forum and will soon complete the Agriculture Leadership Program with ARG Institute. These programs are designed to improve an individual's leadership skills in an effort to develop better leaders for tomorrow. In addition to being chief financial officer for a local home healthcare company, he owns Baird Ranch, an internationally recognized American quarter horse ranch, and serves on the international board of directors for the American Quarter Horse Association. He is currently working on his International Masters in Management, EMBA, to be completed soon in business management from Purdue University's Krannert School of Business, in conjunction with an MBA from Tilburg University in the Netherlands. The Netherlands. Baird hopes this international degree will prove beneficial in helping understand the world economy and the impact local, state, and federal decisions have on the international trade and relations, providing him with a unique skill set of understanding of conservative rural Indiana values coupled with global mindset that he can utilize in the State House. Baird has fueled his passion for his community by serving on a variety of boards and committees at the local, state, and national level. This includes an appointment by former governor and current Vice President Mike Pence to the West Central Economic Development Board of Directors. District 44 encompasses all of Putnam County, as well as portions of Park, Clay, Owen, and Morgan counties. Okay. Well, that's all interesting, fun stuff to read. Let me see here really quickly. Let me look this up here really quickly. In 2018, let's see if he had a challenger. I'm off screen, Kate, if anything happens, because my monitor went down. Let's see. Okay. That was 2024. 22, it looks like he had nobody. 2020 had nobody. Oh, yep. 2018, he did have a Democrat challenger. Okay. So in the primary, he had a primary challenger, Jess Norton. And then in the general, in November 6, 2018, Kimberly Fiddler was his challenger. I wonder if Fiddler, his challenger, knew that he had an OWI in June of 2018 at approximately 3:30 a.m. What it seems as if is on June 22nd, 2018 at approximately 3:30 a.m., Beau Baird, whose actual name is Jason Beau Baird, was pulled over for running a stop sign while departing from Danzer's, a local gentleman's club in Lafayette. Officers smelled alcohol and administered 3 field sobriety tests, of which Beau failed 2. Beau admitted to having mixed cocktails, Crown and Coke. A breathalyzer was conducted, and Beau blew a .15, the legal limit being .08 in the state of Indiana. A later blood test conducted at the hospital, which appeared to have became the subject of a contested search warrant, showed a BAC of .136. Here's the thing. There were a lot of people involved in this situation. What's interesting is, and what might have helped hide this from the public, is the fact that they had his middle name wrong by 1 letter. And now that's not necessarily his fault. I heard former State Senator Jim Merritt and Abdul Hakim Shabazz was talking to Rob Kendall the other day, and Abdul was saying, and obviously clear, there's a difference between someone who purposefully tries to hide information or someone who just doesn't inform on themselves. Now, in my opinion, when you're running for office, they're both bad. They're both very bad. Okay. One is, in my opinion, different than the other. But I have to wonder how far into this thing was Beau. I mean, he goes by the name Beau. Okay. Jason is his first name, but he goes by Beau. And when they have him in the documents as Jason Bean Baird, so instead of the U, they wrote an N. In my opinion, he would have known this. Like, I just, I don't understand. I know when someone spells my name wrong and they call me Chris and spell it with a CH, I instantly notice this. So he doesn't go by Jason. He goes by Beau. I mean, when he was in court, did he think like, oh, well, they're calling me Bean. I'll just run by Bean. You know, I want to show you this now here, and we're going to look through these official filings. Before we do that, to show you, because someone could say, well, wait a minute. This is just somebody they arrested named Jason Bean Baird. It's not Beau Baird. It's not Beau. I'm going to show you this. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to pull this up here and show you. If we go to Beau Baird's Facebook page, and we take a look at this, Adam, huh? Yes, I'll just let it slide. So if we go here to his Facebook page, we see Beau's here. Okay, all this is great. We'll slide down. We see him. We see him here. We're looking at him here supporting Vivek Ramaswamy. Looking very Republicanish. Looky. Okay, now what's really interesting to me is we go down here and we see, wait a minute. We see people are wishing him happy birthday on May 25th. Oh, well, his birthday's May 25th, right? Well, let's scroll down a little bit further. Often, my birthday is July 26th, and I will get people that tell me happy birthday for several days in a row. Let's see when people first start telling him happy birthday. Oh, look. He has 71 people telling him happy birthday on May 22nd. May 22nd. May 22nd here. So I feel it's safe to assume his birthday is May 22nd. Okay. Now, when we go to this other information, did you guys see the birthday? Did you see that? Was that up on the screen? Or was it not on the screen? Kate, are you there? Did you see the birthday or was that not up on the screen? I guess Kate can't hear me. Hello. What the hell's going on? Okay, give me a second here. Okay. That's the problem with not having a monitor. All right, here's his birthday. It's up on the screen. Jesus. Kate, can you hear me? No, she was doing something else. Was this up on the screen a moment ago, or could you not see her? Or did you not know? Okay, she's saying it was. Jesus. Okay, so there's where his birthday is. It shows. I'm wanting to show that so I'm not getting people saying, "Oh, look, you're putting out. This is two different people," because I want to make sure that people are fully aware that this is not two. You're fine. Two different people. This is just a case of more than likely a Scribner's error. But it's like, wait a minute, he's going to take. Like this works in his favor, right? Because when they see Jason Bean Baird, now Jason Bean Baird has date of birth of 5/22/81. That's this gentleman. He's got an address in Greencastle. We see prosecuting attorney for the 23rd Judicial Circuit, State of Indiana, informs that on or about June 22nd, Tippecanoe County, State of Indiana, Jason Bean Baird, it's Beau, did operate a vehicle while intoxicated, all of which is contrary to the form. Okay, so there we are on that. All right. Count 2, operating with a vehicle of blood alcohol content of 0.08 or more. And they have it, it's 0.136 here on the side. Disregarding a stop sign. Okay, here's the police report. And here they just call him Jason Baird. So now the name is not, it's just Jason Baird. That could be anybody. While on patrol for the Lafayette Police Department, I Officer C. Smith was traveling toward McCarty Lane on Main Street from Sagamore Parkway when I observed a silver Ford F-150 disregard a stop sign. The driver was traveling west on McCarty Lane and turned right onto Main Street without stopping at the posted stop sign. I then initiated my traffic stop on the vehicle near the intersection. Making contact with the driver identified as Jason Baird by his Indiana driver's license, he advised me he and his friend had just left Danzer's. While speaking to Jason, I could smell the odor. As a police officer, I would have wrote, I could smell the odor of what appeared to be alcoholic beverage, because maybe he could have been having diabetic ketoacidosis. So I would have wrote, could smell the odor of what appeared to be an alcoholic beverage coming from him. I also observed his eyes to be glassy and slightly bloodshot. I then asked Jason to complete some field sobriety tests to ensure that he was okay to drive. Jason consented and complied with the test. It should be noted that Jason advised he had a few mixed drinks, Crown and Coke, while at Danzer's. The first test I gave Jason was the horizontal gaze nystagmus test. Jason did not pass this test. Jason had lack of smooth pursuit in both eyes. He had distinct and sustained nystagmus at maximum deviation in both eyes. Jason had also had onset of nystagmus prior to 45 degrees in both eyes. The second test I gave Jason was the one-leg stand test. Jason passed this test only exhibiting the clue that he put his left foot down. The third and final test I gave Jason was the walk and turn test. Jason did not pass this test. Jason could not balance during the instructions phase of this test, did not stand in the correct position after being told to do so. Jason turned improperly. Jason missed several heel-to-toe steps. Jason also took the wrong number of steps. I then asked Jason if he would take a PBT, to which he asked for a blood draw. I explained I wanted him to take the PBT so I had an estimate of his level of intoxication. Jason consented and took the PBT, to which it read he had a blown and BAC of 0.15. I then read Jason Indiana's implied consent. Jason consented to a blood draw at St. Elizabeth Hospital. I then placed Jason in handcuffs behind the back, gapped and double locked, for transportation to the hospital. Upon arrival, we went to the ER room where we were assisted by RN Kayla Vigera. A registration staff came into the room to ask Jason if he consented to the treatment, which he advised he did. Okay. Oh, to which he advised he did not. Sorry. To which he advised he did not. Carla then asked Jason to sign the consent to draw his blood, to which he took a while to read the document. Jason then signed the document, but after crossing out the words voluntary. Throughout the document, when asked why, Jason advised that it's because he was handcuffed and did not feel it was voluntarily there and was not being voluntarily treated, having his blood drawn. I then read Jason Indiana's implied consent again, to which he advised he would consent, but not voluntarily. I then contacted the shift command and advised the situation. As Jason advised he would not voluntarily sign the form, the consent was then determined we needed to apply a search warrant. I then contacted Judge Moore and advised him of the situation. I then filled out the OWI search warrant and probable cause affidavit and faxed it to Judge Moore. Judge Moore then granted the search warrant and faxed it back to the hospital, at which point it was read at 4:50 a.m. Under observation, Carla then drew Jason's blood at 4:57 a.m. and took a sample of the urine from Jason at 5:05 a.m. I was told by Carla the result of the chemical test was an alcohol concentration equivalent to 0.136 grams of alcohol per 100 milliliters of blood. Such test was administered by drawing a sample of the whole blood at 4:57 a.m. I was told by Carla the result of the chemical test determined that Jason had no controlled substance in his body. Such a test was administered by taking a sample of urine at 5:05 a.m. drawn by Carla. Upon receiving the results, I advised Jason he was under arrest for the above charges and then transported him to the Tippecanoe County Jail for remand. Upon arrival, Jason was remanded to the jail custody without incident. Jason was given a receipt for his license, and I seized his driver's license. Jason was also issued a citation for disregarding the stop sign at McCarty and Main Streets. The vehicle Jason was driving was towed to Jim's garage, and due to it being on the roadway, Jason being arrested as well as the passenger was too drunk to drive away. An inventory was taken and will be attached to the case. The Indiana Department of Toxicology blood draw kit was packaged and sealed. I then mailed the kit by placing it in the USPS mailbox located at the corner of 6th and Columbia Streets. The document in which Jason had signed consent but crossed out the words voluntary has been attached to this case as well to show his refusal to consent voluntarily. Then he was formally charged by the prosecutor's office, which you can see those here. That's basically what this is here. Those were first, and then you can see where a plea agreement, judgment of conviction, sentencing order was put forward as Jason Baird. $500 plus court cost, $500 fine is suspended upon compliance with all terms. 60 days in imprisonment. 0 days shall be executed. Probation, 364 days, unsupervised. You shall not possess a firearm other than or other dangerous weapon. Complete 24 hours. Blah 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 blah. All this was here. Pay court cost $185. Pay alcohol and drug countermeasures fee $200. Pay probationary fee. Okay, $100. And it was all signed on the 7th day of August, 2019. So, the whole time this was going on, in my opinion, I wonder if they were dragging this out. Were they dragging this out because he wanted this to happen after he was in office? Number one, that's my first question. Okay, that's my first question. Number two, I'm back on screen here now. Number two, the thing with you is, in my mind, that's interesting. That's very interesting, Adam. Does Jim's garage refer to his dad? That would be interesting to know. I would say they probably, let's see, let me look that up. Do they have, is there a Jim's garage in Tippecanoe? Garage, Lafayette. Yeah, there's a Jim's garage in Lafayette. Put a picture for me in overlays. Oh, yeah, here we are. Oh, yeah, so this shows assumed office November 7th, 2018. And here we see, here we see his name's Jason Beau Baird. There we go, because that's the first place that I was going. I was like, we need to get something where it shows his where it shows his full name is Jason. So there that is. So again, this is something that has happened where this man received this arrest for OWI. Did his constituents get a chance to know this when they went to vote? You know, and I'm interested to know, was his driver's license suspended? Was his driver's license suspended? Were they not suspended? I'm very interested to know that. Because they should have been. Since he refused implied consent, and since they had to get the search warrant, his license should have been suspended for 1 year. Period. Mr. Bean. I'm going to make a phone call to him tomorrow, and I will call him that. Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean, I just want to know if you have any. I want to know if you'll answer any questions. Now I'm looking here. I want to look and see. So my whole thing is, again, look, does having an OWI arrest mean that you're a demon? No. Does it mean you're a bad person? No. I mean, does it mean that you did something stupid? Yes. Does he have a problem? I don't know. Was he just out and made a stupid choice? Very likely. But his constituents should have had the chance to know about this. And if he's hiding this through omission before being elected, then what is he going to do once he's elected? So, just thought that this might be important to talk about, and thought that it might be important for folks to know, and maybe the constituents of District 44 will take it into consideration this time. I'm interested if his opponent knew about this. Obviously, his opponent didn't know about it because there's not been any other talk. He did have an opponent. Now he's not had an opponent any of the other times he's ran. And did that happen because of how easily he won in 2018? Because the constituents didn't have all the information to share? Who knows? Who absolutely knows? But the main thing to understand here is it's not just one, it's not just yours, it's all of them. There is an issue here in the state of Indiana with these elected officials. It's not just local, it's not just federal, it's the state level, it's all of them. There's issues here. And until we start holding these people accountable, we're going to deal with more and more and more of this nonsense out of these people. So, Beau, Bean, Baird, Jason, Bean, Beau, Baird, what do you have to say about this? We're going to find out tomorrow. I have a phone number to him directly, so I will call, see if he has anything to say to me about this, and I will let you guys know. We normally don't have a show on Friday and Saturday, so we normally wouldn't be here Friday or Saturday. But I will let you guys know on social media what goes on. Yeah, I looked that up, and it's definitely it's not his father. It's an actual garage in Lafayette. So that's that. Maybe all Indiana voters will want to know if he happens to ever run for U.S. Senate or congressional seats out of Indiana's U.S. congressional districts here. Yeah, absolutely. It's very important. People need to know this. You know, just again, I'm not as concerned with the OWI. I'm more concerned with how no one knew about this. How no one knew about it. That's what I'm concerned about. I'm not as concerned with the OWI. I'm concerned how, again, no one knew anything about this in all of this time. And the only reason this came out is because the Michael Bohachik shit came out. The Michael Bohachik OWI came out, and now it's all... I believe that what we'll do is we're going to start seeing all of these bad missteps start to bleed out from everybody because it's all going to be happening. I'm here for it. Send me any of that stuff, anything that you have like this on any of these elected officials. Do not wait. Do not delay. Send them to me. Start today. There's the email. There, khbilbrey@gmail.com or tpsprogram@gmail.com. You can send them to either one. It'll get to us, and we'll go from there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us this evening. Hey, I will say we did not talk about it. We did not talk about it, but in case you all did not hear the news, the sad news that we all knew was coming. Everyone knew it. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you were on, who you pulled for, who you didn't pull for. We all knew that eventually a divorce would occur, and it seems like that divorce is here. Mommy and Daddy are fighting, and I don't think it's going to be salvageable. But it seems like Trump and Elon are going through their separation and divorce, and it's playing out wildly, just as I always knew it would. And since both of them have their hands on social media platforms, they both are going there and doing exactly what happens in cases like this. They are tweeting and truth socialing just about as fast as they can. Wild shit. I'll be here watching it all. We might talk about it a little bit on Saturday with Catherine after our big adventure tomorrow. So there's that. All right, you guys, thank you for tuning in. Share the show with everyone you know. Help spread the word. Click like before you leave. If you haven't subscribed, to do that. Ring the bell. That way you notice and are notified when we're live and all that shit. I appreciate it, you guys. Take care. Have a great rest of your evening. Have a wonderful Friday. Have a wonderful Friday evening. If you want to follow what's going on tomorrow, follow me on social media. You'll get the play-by-play as that goes on. That'll be interesting. And then we'll be here Saturday in a very special Saturday. So, yeah, right. That's exactly right, Tweety Bird. So, you guys take care. God bless. Have a good evening. And we will see you Saturday. Goodbye.